But moving on, getting into some controversial discussions, I would say. Overall, the Ravens have been playing backups, and they've been playing okay. But
Mm-hmm.
they're going up against their final preseason game, and they've got some players that haven't played football in a while. Lamar Jackson hasn't played in a very long time. He didn't even finish the regular season last year or the postseason. We have J.K. Dobbins, who has missed a lot of time. We have Mark Andrews, who hasn't played. We have Bateman, and Odell hasn't played in over a year.
Yeah.
Joshua, the question I'm going to ask you is, do we see these starters on Saturday?
Man, listen. If it was another team that was, if it was like the Hall of Fame game, and say it was like Kansas City, just like Kansas City had Pat Mahomes play for the first half or first quarter, I would say yeah. But excuse me, this is just Tampa Bay. They just named Baker Mayfield. They started QB. Truzz is going to be the backup, and the Buccaneers are there. I ain't gonna say in shambles, but they're working their way back up, and you don't need to put anybody out there against folks that's trying to fight for a job. Is because if I'm a defensive guy, defensive end, I know I'm on a bubble, things of that nature. Oh, Lamar Jackson playing. Oh yeah, I'm gonna do everything. I'm gonna do everything in my power, to try to get him. Show that I can set the edge, show that I can tackle him, show I can chase him down, stuff like that. And sometimes, with guys like that being trying to be overachievers, trying to earn a spot, they hurt other players in the process. I mean, unfortunately, we saw with the Commanders with not saying Christian Welch did it on purpose, but when he tackled Terry McLaurin, Scary
Yeah.
Terry, and he kind of rolled up on his ankle. Thank goodness that he wasn't, he didn't have a severe injury, but still, you don't want to, you don't want to overdo it when you know someone's position is solidified. So as much as those guys like Lamar, J.K., Odell, Rashad Bateman, and others, I know that they are competitors of the game. I know they want to be out there with their brothers, fighting with them. But we need you for the more important games. Just keep on showing support for your brothers. Keep on showing love. Keep on coaching and mentoring them on the sidelines when they come off the field and things of that nature. I know Lamar would love to be in there for Josh Johnson and Anthony Brown Jr. But hey, man, just keep on talking to them guys when you get on the sideline. Tell them what you're seeing on the sideline so they can go out there and make that play or see that read. Even with the wide receivers, Odell, do be that mentor, that leader that we know you can be. There's no reason putting yourself in jeopardy, especially against um, any team or any player that's looking to earn a spot on their own 53-man roster. So I definitely don't see I don't see why they will be out there on the field come this Saturday.
Yeah, and for me personally, I do not have anything against anybody that plays starters in the preseason. And in certain situations, I think you should play starters in the preseason. For example, if in week one the Ravens were playing the Bills, the Chiefs, the Bengals, the Steelers, one of those four teams, maybe even the Browns, maybe one of those
Mhm.
five teams where you're like, okay, this is going to be an absolute dogfight. It's going to be incredibly physical. This is a huge game. I'm like, okay, maybe we want them warmed up so their first game's not, going against TJ Watt and just getting, laid out consistently.
Yeah,
You want to have those, reps in. But the Ravens are playing the Texans. And this isn't me trying to say that the Texans are bad. It's me trying to say that the Texans aren't the Chiefs. This is not looked at on the Ravens schedule as one of the most important games of the year. It's still important. You cannot overlook this game. But they're almost using this game as a preseason, right? The first quarter is going to be kind of a wash. Do not look at the Ravens first quarter and be like, and decide the season after one quarter how well their guys have played. Because I know
yeah,
Ravens fans do it. I've seen some Ravens Facebook messages. All right. I've seen them. All right. You can't be judging these players after one quarter.
yeah,
And so if we had one of those like big physical matchups week one, yeah, I think you should play your starters just to like, hey, you have a week off, but at least get your body accustomed to playing. 11-on-11 football for a quarter. I don't like when people play him for just a drive. I think that's kind of weird. It gives them very little time.
Right.
But at the same time, I think you go out there and you tell them, right, hey, be safe. Lamar, don't run, right? Hey, don't go for extra yards and stuff like that. You're not going to go out there and be like, all right, this is a must-win game, fight for every yard. It's like, okay, just go out there. Don't go through the motions, but maybe don't play fully 100%. Don't use all your skill set. Sit in the pocket, slide, drop to the ground if you're going to take a sack, that sort of thing. So,
Yeah.
I don't know. In my opinion, playing starters, I have no problem with it. Obviously, don't play JK. He would probably try to murder John Harbaugh if he told him to get out there on Saturday. He might. I don't know. We'll see.
Hey, man, he loves it here in Baltimore, man, regardless, man.
Yeah, we'll find out what happens and who plays on Saturday. But, overall, I hope it's not the starters just because we are playing the Texans. They have a rookie quarterback. They have a rookie pass rusher, a rookie head coach. They're like, it's their first game. It's, D'Amico Ryan and Will Anderson and CJ Stroud. And even the receiver core is young, right? It's like Nico Collins, Robert Woods. Robert Woods, obviously the vet.
Mr.
John
Tank
Mechie, Tank
himself.
Dell. Yeah. And then, running back is like Dameon Pierce, a second rounder. This is a very young team that you're going up against in week one. Not saying you can take it easy, but you can use it as, your step into game, right? Like last year we had the Jets week one, and it was like, yeah, you can wait. And the Ravens didn't look that good week one. Why? Because they were using it as a preseason game, but they still won. Remember that first quarter? It was very slow football for a little bit.
And also we have a new offensive scheme as well. So do not expect this to be the 2019 game. I believe 2019 home opener was against Miami, right?
2019 home opener. No, that was just the opener of the season was against Miami. It was at Miami though.
And Hollywood went crazy. So
yeah.
I know everybody's going to expect Zay Flowers to go crazy. I mean, they're going to have their moments. They're going to have their their times. I just feel like as a starter, it would be hard for me to to go 60% in a preseason game because I'm on the field, and coach may say, "Hey man, don't do this, don't do that. Hey, watch this, watch that." But at the same time, I'm like, I'm a competitor. Like, if I see somebody coming at me, man, you will catch this worry. So if I know my guys as a coach, like, nah, man, sit your tail down, man. Come on, man. Don't even worry about it. I know what you're gonna do. No, we already had this conversation. Man, but coach, no, listen to your coach. Come on, sit down. Support your brothers. We're gonna get right for week one. Treat week one as your tune-up game. And like McConnell said, we're not trying to say, Texans are gonna be a wash. No, CJ Stroud is gonna play. Will Anderson has showed that he's gotten himself, he's getting acclimated to the NFL. He's going to play. Dameon Pierce, we know that young man don't go down without one hit. We know that he got that dog in him. Mr. Mechie coming back from injury, correct?
Yeah.
So
he had cancer.
See, okay, and he has a lot to prove, So and we've been hearing about Mr. Tank Dell himself, but we got someone on our team that's just as quick, shifty as him, maybe even shiftier than Mr. Tank Dell and Zay Flowers. So, we'll definitely be prepared for those young men and even Mr. D'Amico Ryans, being a head coach, man. It's all a nuance to those guys. So we're not going to treat them like a turn-up game. We're going to play them hard. We're going to play them strong. But, I mean, that's the way you get yourself acclimated, just like college. We all know that FBS schools, the first 2 weeks, they schedule those FCS. I mean, we just talked about it before we started recording, man. This week you got Notre Dame versus Navy. You got Hawaii versus Vanderbilt. Not saying that Vanderbilt is this great SEC school, but they still an SEC school. They got some talent where Hawaii is not going to beat them. So that's how you get your guys acclimated, and there's no reason to overdo it.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. And